let us see a basic difference about regression and classification, since we have already seen a lot of examples, the algorithms and all. So now it will make quite huge understanding with respect to the difference. So again, regression and classification algorithms are supervised learning algorithms, but the algorithms are used for prediction in machine learning and work with labeled data set. But the difference between both are how they used mainly in different machine learning problems. Okay, so the main difference of regression and this one would be like the prediction of continuous like values like such as price, salary, age, etc., and the classification would be something like predict or classify the discrete between like true or false, spam or not, etc. things. Okay, so these images will give the best insights with respect to a regression and a classification. Okay, so first is the regression is a process of finding the correlation between dependent and independent variables. So it helps the predicting the continuous values such as like the price prediction of market trends, prices of house, etc. So the task of regression algorithms is to find the mapping function to map the inputs to a continuous output variable. Okay, so example would be like maybe weather forecasting. So we'll use the regression algorithm in weather prediction. The model is trained on the past data. Once the training is complete, it will easily predict the weather. Okay, and the types of regression would be like something simple linear regression, multi linear regression, polynomial regression, support vector regression, decision tree regression, and finally random forest regression. Okay, and coming to classification, so classification is a process of finding uh, a function which helps in dividing the data set into classes based on different parameters. In classification, a computer program is trained on the training data set, and based on the training data set, it categorizes data into different classes. Okay, so the classification algorithm is to find mapping function to map x to this discrete output y. Okay, so an example would be something like email spam detection. So the model is trained with billions basis of millions or billions of emails on different parameters, where whenever it receives a new mail, it identifies whether it is spam or not. Okay, so if the um, email is spam, it might go to the spam mail. Okay, so coming to the types of classification or classification algorithms, we have logistic regression and k nearest neighbors, so KNN, and support vector machines SVM and kernel SVM, naive Bayes, decision tree classification, and random forest classification. Again, decision tree, random forest, we look into aspects of classification problems rather than regression problems, because regression is kind of little straightforward. So let us see a few of the key differences between these two. In regression, the output variable must be continuous in nature or real number. Okay, so this is the assumption. If the assumption is not done, so definitely we'll are not gonna use a regression problem. In classification, the output variable must be a discrete value, and in regression, the task of the regression algorithm is to map the input value with continuous output variables. Okay, so it is like a linear line. Uh, uh, the equation of a line we will be taking, whereas the task of a classification algorithm is to map input values with a discrete output value. So wherever it locates, it will be mapping on those, and the regression algorithms are used with continuous data, and obviously classification algorithms are used with discrete data. In regression, we try to find the best fit line. Okay, so we try to predict the output more accurately with respect to the best fit line. So the most accurate is what we are looking at with respect to the line. And in classification, we find the decision boundary. Okay, so there will be a boundary separating between the classes. So this is called as decision boundary, which can divide the subset into different classes. Okay, so regression algorithms can be used to solve regression problems such as like weather prediction, house price prediction, etc. And the classification algorithm can solve all classification problems, so such as identifying of spam mails, speech recognition, identifying of cancer cells, etc. And final difference is the regression can be further divided into linear and non-linear regression. And Classification, the basic difference, the basic division is nothing but binary classification, which has only two classes or two classifications or two features, which can end up finally, and we can have multi-class classifiers. So that is the basic introduction, like the difference between a regression and classification.